Hey, what's up? Silas here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the American dream versus the American reality. So, recently there's been a lot of things going on in American politics that I think are very shocking to many people in the United States of America, and possibly less shocking to people outside the United States of America. Now, I have this saying that something can be on your mind for your whole life, constantly on your mind, but you still need somebody else to kind of give you perspective on it. And there's that one saying, like, I know something like the back of my hand because you see the back of your hand a lot when you're working. But my thought coming to this, the way I came to this actually was I was watching this video from the Women's March on DC, which was back in January 21st or 22nd after the inauguration of Donald J. Trump. I went there with some friends that I met, and I was walking around. We were walking around, kind of checking out to see what's happening because we were like, okay, let's actually see what's happening on the other side. We were supporters of Donald J. Trump. We were rather happy that he won the election. So we went for the inauguration, and the day after, we knew the Women's March was going on. So we said, okay, why don't we go and check it out and see what happens? So we were walking around filming things, and I was watching the film, and it was like filming the back of my head, and then I was kind of watching the film, like, oh wow, that's what the back of my head looks like, and that's what made me kind of think about this thing. Something can be on your mind. The back of your head is on your mind since you were born, constantly. It protects your head. It keeps it there. The closest thing to your mind, to your brain, physically than anything else really is, but you have no idea what that looks like. It normally needs somebody else to kind of look at the back of your head and say, look, this is how it looks. This is how it looks when you're doing things. When you think, I'm going to go over there and head that way, that's what it looks like to the other people. They see the back of your head and things like that. So this is happening in the United States of America. I think the American dream versus the American reality. People are waking up out of this term, the American dream, for me has been problematic for a while because, in my opinion, dreams are not something you can really build lives on. It's good to have a goal. It's good to say, okay, I have a dream. I'm going to look there, like Martin Luther King Jr. had. Like he said, he have a dream. I have a dream. They have the famous "I have a dream" speech, where he's like, look, this is a goal that I'm setting for myself, and this is something I'm going to reach to. But what's the practical nature of doing it? And I think a lot of people in the United States of America have been stuck in dream stage. And also with that is also the interesting juxtaposition right now of the I have a dream thing, Martin Luther King, that kind of civil rights thing, embodying that. And the black movements today, the African American minority movements today, a lot of people are talking about we're woke. Now, is this a woke thing coming out from things that are not necessarily real into the reality? I hope. But some of the things they're actually focusing on talking about, I'm not quite on the up and up with. I'm not quite in agreement with. But have a series on Black Lives Matter that if you guys want to check out more on that. Now, back to the whole dream thing. So the I have a dream thing. You're waking up from this dream to the American reality, and it's tough for some people. America itself, if anything, one thing you cannot talk about the United States of America negatively or say this is not something the United States of America excels at is the marketing of itself as a nation. Marketing American exceptionalism has been a big thing, which is why right now when these marketing gears are going towards this kind of American guilt or this kind of white, it's going towards white guilt. And some people are saying white guilt, but it's not necessarily just whiteness because I think it's across the board in many different things where they're just like, turn it down, turn the dial down on the marker. No more marker. It's like America, America, America. Not America. So it's like turn down the dial on that. So in the past, it's just been like we're Americans, we're here, we're loud, we're proud, we're here, and that's a thing that I've been kind of wondering. What is it to be American? Thinking of doing this series, kind of just looking in because, as some of you may know, I'm right here in Nairobi, Kenya right now. I've spent my life in Europe, in was France, and then came back to Kenya, then went to the United States of America for most of my schooling, and then went back to Europe for a bit, then been in and out of the States. And I'm asking myself, what is it to be me? Who am I? When I go to the United States, when I go to other countries, people say, okay, are you American? When I go to America, some people thought I was American, but didn't really know, or like sometimes they'll say that, or they'll be, at least the recent friends that I've met some friends who just really welcomed me in to saying like, you're as American as we are. So what is it to be American? What is this American dream? What is the American reality versus this manufactured, marketed kind of idea that people have? What is this idea of people saying, like, if I have a dream to be an American, that requires other people to do things for me? What is it with people who are saying, by that person pursuing their dream, they're taking something away from me, so I need to get other people to go and tax this person, go and regulate this person. What is it to be an American? What is it to actually have this dream? What is the American reality? And another part of this reality, I think a lot of people are very in shock to, a lot of people in the United States of America, is seeing the level of corruption and horror and disgust that's going on in this place. Because when some people make certain claims, when they're saying, okay, Donald J. Trump is literally Hitler, I don't think they mean literally. I think it's kind of like they literally mean figuratively, and figuratively now kind of means its own literal thing. But in some cases, in some of the more recent cases, you're finding out with the sexual allegations, with sexual misconduct allegations, to sexual assault, to the levels of corruption, it's kind of on third world level type things where people think this used to happen in other countries. This is not us. This is not the United States of America. And it's kind of tying in with some people where there's some people who are talking about, yes, the American dream, American exceptionalism. Now, does American exceptionalism fit in if you have politicians that are this corrupt and this horrible? At the same point, now there's other people who are just waking up to it, saying like, look, we were right the whole time, these people are horrible people. But now if they are horrible people, like some situations, imagine with a situation with former President Bill Clinton, you have to get to the point where you're realizing that yes, me and the rest of my countrymen actually voted in a rapist and actually had other politicians who might have known that this guy was a rapist, but they said, it doesn't matter if he raped these people, it doesn't matter if he sexually assaulted these people, because of whatever reasons we have, we're going to actually stay with this person. You have feminist groups who are like, yes, we are for the woman, yet they were behind backing this man and this candidate and his wife and things. People making excuses saying, okay, Hillary Clinton is not responsible because she was just behaving as a wife defending her husband that was under assault. Well and good, but still, if he is a rapist, how is that? Because you hear certain horrible things about other people outside of your life. And it might be a situation where people are waking up and realizing if it was a dream or anything, it was not a happy dream, it was a nightmare. And waking up from a nightmare and a dream are entirely two different emotions. Okay, not entirely two different, but they're different emotions. But I think the key part here is the waking up to the reality. Now, how are we going to deal with the reality as a world? Because I'm saying we, because I consider myself to be a part of this in a way, would like to be more a part of it once I figure out actually what it is and what kind of part I can play in it. And also the fact that the United States of America plays such a major part on the world stage. It does lead things in a certain way. And speaking on that, I'd be amiss not to mention this. I made a video about this before, just talking about this kind of the slave trade that's going on in Libya right now. How there's people talking about. It's a really tough topic for me, but coming back to what's happening right now, Donald J. Trump just said that he just recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel in a public statement and said he's going to move the embassy from the United States of America to Jerusalem. Now, you have some people saying like, okay, from this is going to cause instability in the region. It's going to cause instability in the region. It's going to cause violence. He's risking people's lives. But you got to realize this is what politics is. If you talk about this, the same people talking about that are not going, I mean, I hope they did. If there was some consistency, they would also go and say, look, when Hillary Clinton said something like after the NATO and other forces went and helped in deposing Gaddafi, and Gaddafi was, I think he was killed in such a horrible way. He was put in a pickup truck. He was stabbed. I think he was sodomized with like a bayonet or something in a really gruesome way. And she said, we came, we saw, he died. Now, you have some people defend this woman. Now, if you're saying you're defending this woman when she was behaving that way with Bill Clinton back in the past, what is their defense for her saying something like that? You talk about words that Donald Trump says by saying, well, yes, we're going to move the embassy here, and that's going to risk people's lives. Even though Senate already said, I mean, the governmental officials in the United States of America already said, yes, we recognize Jerusalem as the capital. So when it's these current people, these people are hateful. These people did this. They're risking lives. They need to be stopped. When it's our team No, it's not that way. And that's the dream kind of thing. That's why I'm kind of thinking you guys need to wake up for the dream. And some people know, people are kind of back and forth with it. They realize that America has that global effect. You wouldn't say what Trump is saying has an effect in the region if you don't also understand that the actions and effects of previous presidents and stuff have also affected the region, have affected the rest of the world. So whether you like it or not, I think the American reality is here, and I think it's a positive thing. What do you guys think about this American reality versus American dream thing? What kind of questions would you have for the rest of the world? I know some of you Americans probably don't really care. I mean, why should you really care about what the rest of the world thinks about you? Or, but if you do, what kind of questions would you have for people outside of the country who want to know what's going on in the United States of America? If you're outside the United States of America, what kind of questions would you have for Americans? And I want to try and find a way to see if I can answer some of these questions myself and see kind of where I stand on them. And also just, I know people on both ends of the spectrum who may be willing to actually come out and actually start answering some of these questions that people have. Because one thing I do agree with on the people who are on the whole like woke thing is I do think we should have honest conversations about some of these things, and from those conversations get to the point where we can actually have some kind of positive actually actions from it. And this is the whole thing. I love dreams. Dreams are amazing. Some of my best creations have come from dreams. I've dreamt about certain things, and in my opinion, I normally find myself going to dreams when I'm trying to figure out things in my life. And I think dream analysis is a perfect thing. So let's get to the point where we analyze the American dream and see what the reality is from that and see how it can help us in our day-to-day lives. So that's this video. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. The VidMe just channel went down, so right now I'm just sticking on YouTube. Might find some other sources, but links to a merchandise store below if you want to support the channel as well on that. And that's it for now. Goodbye.